Hello, welcome back. We are here for another episode of Paranormal Incorporated. I don't think I really number them. I think we just do them by mystery. So today we will be doing Haunted Holidays, the edited version of Alicia Furness's mystery for Paranormal Incorporated, a game she also wrote. So um, just to start off, we have our investigators. We are with Waylend and Dr. Fern and Ronnie today. Unfortunately, Michael, our Annabelle player, is sick, so he unfortunately will not be able to join us for this holiday mystery. But we wish him well and a speedy recovery. So let's see. We have, oh, okay. So conditions wise, we have Wayland plagued by indecision and Ronnie with sick, sad fiction, which I don't remember from last episode what that had to do with. Um, so we can decide, as a group, like whether we want to keep these or if we want to just like wave them, like hand wave them away. That's fine. Um, I mean, I don't remember if there was any real mechanical problem for having conditions when we rolled. I mean, I know in other carved from Brindlewood games, like sometimes that's an issue, but I don't recall off the top of my head. So if anybody else does, if anybody else recalls that, please let me know. Right. Okay. So we'll just roll with it and then see what happens. If it makes sense in the fiction, fantastic, because we play that way. All right, great. So we're going to go ahead and get started with Haunted Holidays. Let me make sure everything's open. Okay, great. So, Haunted Holidays, complexity 5. Tone is PG-13. It's the most wonderful time of the year, also the coldest, darkest, and most haunted time of the year. The holiday season is a busy time for ghosts as the spirits try to spend joyous time with their still living families. Paranormal Incorporated is hosting its annual holiday party for current and former clients in an attempt to drum up a bit more business for the new year. The music is blaring, the lights are strung up, cheap wine flows, and prepackaged appetizers heated in the community toaster oven are being served. Now, just a little caveat with this particular setup, because since Ronnie's established as being the secret funder for this particular office of Paranormal Incorporated, I'm going to say that this is happening at another office of Paranormal Incorporated. Okay. So, we don't have a toaster oven.
We've expanded to 2 offices?
Well,
Heck,
we are part of I
doing
want to say a
great.
franchise kind of
A
thing,
franchise.
but I mean, this is a different office, not the international office over in London with Ronnie's cousin. This is and not our office. This is like, another office that has opened up with said name. Because I
Why
think,
do I get the feeling that our office is the one that people kind of talk about in hushed voices?
yeah,
That's
yeah,
fine.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they don't have, maybe they do, maybe they don't. I don't know yet. Because as usual, it's like, we're completely pantsing this thing and then just looking at it now. So it's fine. So we'll find out if they have an intern or
Yeah.
some secret whatever. Okay, so paint the scene. How can you tell that the company has cut corners to keep party costs down? This is why I'm saying this is not our office. Paranormal Incorporated.
The
Um,
balloons are all made out of construction paper. Just cut out.
yeah, 100%. Instead of serving eggnog, they're just serving nog TM.
I don't want to know. What the? Okay.
Why do I feel like that's just milk with cinnamon in it?
Oh my God, that could be nog,
Yeah.
man.
Oh no. Yeah, it's 1 carton of milk. So one 2-liter carton of milk, one like 500 milliliter carton of whipping cream with cinnamon and nutmeg sprinkled over top, warming in a slow cooker.
Oh my
That's
God.
disgusting. I love
That's
it.
oh my God.
Let me just quickly, we said it was a 200 or a 2-liter carton of milk. I'm just gonna put that in US
Oh, sorry. Yes.
Oh no, don't worry about it. I mean, like, go
I have
ahead
to
and just
Google
put
it because I
yeah,
don't
that's
know.
fine. That's fine. Just go ahead and it's like probably a
Okay.
quart or something. You know,
250 milliliters is 1 cup. So
Yeah.
2 liters is I don't know. I don't know what quarts and gallons are. I'm sorry.
Eight
I just know
cups.
milliliters. 8
So
cups. Yeah.
8 cups
but
of milk, two
I don't know
cups
if that's
of whipping cream.
It's like, okay, it's like a box carton. You know, the regular size
Yes.
box carton of milk.
Yes,
That
it's
size.
horrifying. It's freaking horrifying. Oh my
Yeah.
god.
It's all
I can't.
warming. It's all warming in a slow cooker.
We can smell the spices, but then we're looking at the murkiness and just going, what the heck? As Ronnie is also looking at the cutlery / napkinware / cups and plates. So the way they kept party costs down is that this is all for birthday parties. So there's like, like happy birthday on the cups and on the plates and on the napkins and the cutlery for birthday colors. And it's for the holiday party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's like 7 plates from a Wolverine set.
Yes.
Like four from like a sparkly unicorn set. It's just like, yeah.
And whenever anybody brings that up, that it doesn't seem particularly, festive.
Yeah.
Somebody mentions, well, it's a holiday party. That includes birthdays.
Yeah.
Only in my previous work, IRL. I mean, like, we got our birthdays off, but that, that doesn't happen anywhere else.
You got your birthdays off at your work?
The previous work, yeah. I mean,
that's cool.
Yeah, we were at an art center. We got, and if we couldn't take our actual birthday off because of something, then it's like, around your birthday time,
Yeah.
But that was nice. Yeah, that was very cool.
Awesome.
Okay. So establishing questions. One of you loves the holidays, but why aren't you feeling the usual magic this year? And then one of you usually hates the holidays. Why are you feeling the Christmas spirit this year?
Well, I was about to describe Waylend as being really into Christmas. So I think if it's okay, I'll be the one who is just super into the holidays every year. Down to like Waylend is currently wearing like a big baggy ugly Christmas sweater that is like it's got like the usual like snowflakes and stuff like that, but it's also got like the stylized knitted images of like the Gutenberg press, and then books that are open, and the Dewey Decimal number for like Christmas is worked in there. Like if you wanted to look up books on Christmas at the library, that's the number you would use, and it's worked in through the like just. And he's wearing like a Santa hat that has reindeer horns sticking out of the top of it. Like he is just super appears to be super into it. But I think Waylend is just a little. He's been arguing with more often with the friend in his head. Not even so much arguing, just. Disagreeing and having like those passive aggressive conversations about it. So that's got him a little down at the moment.
What's the arguments about?
Well, I'm just remembering that this is where the plagued by indecision comes from, is that this was a check that I did with the help of my roommate, and it didn't go well. So the result of that is that they keep Waylend keeps second guessing him, and yeah, they're just like constantly. He's getting upset because Waylend is like checking his work, Like he's not just accepting an answer and going on. He's like, actually, oh, thank you for that, and then going and looking it up to confirm that that is the correct information, which is making his roommate edgy and angry.
Are you letting any of us know this? I mean, are you talking with any one of us?
I don't think so. But you, I mean, you are hearing conversations go on.
Right, but we can only hear your side though. I mean,
right, exactly.
Imagine. Oh man. Yeah. I think Ronnie would be a bit concerned because it's like, you're not, you're normally very what's the word? You're normally very laid back, very amiable, but when they hear like the fight, the one side of the fight with Marvin, I'm sure it's like, it gets pretty heated. You might actually have your voice raised maybe a couple of times, and it's like, ooh, this ain't good. And especially because I think we established that Waylend's place is right near the bathroom, if not next to the bathroom. So
yes,
people can hear it. And it's like, oh no.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. We hopefully we'll give back some holiday cheer to Waylend. Oh my gosh. And then one of you usually hates the holidays, but why are you feeling the Christmas spirit this year? How does I'm just out of curiosity. I mean, like, because I don't mind taking this one, but I'm curious about how Dr. Fern feels about the holidays.
I think Dr. Fern is conflicted. When she was young, really quite young, she got a kids chemistry set for Christmas one year from Santa, and she was so excited to use it. Immediately, set it all up and started experimenting. Unfortunately, blew up her house. So it made for a bit of a stressful Christmas that year. So I think she's always really desperately trying to find Christmas cheer to bring back that wonderful feeling that she felt that morning when she opened up the chemistry set. But in the back of her mind, she knows that it all just gets blown up, and it's just a little sad. However, this year, she has a new experiment, a new piece of technology. It is called the Holiday Gun 2.0. It is basically a modified t-shirt gun. And when you pull the trigger, out of the barrel pops fully formed Christmas trees. We've got Hanukkah candelabras. What are they called? Menorah, thank you. I'm not a religious person, so I don't really know a lot of the details here. We've got, different types of decorations. A full snowman pops out. It's made of cotton, but it just fully formed. It's got a carrot nose and everything. And yeah, the holiday gun, she's very excited to try out on unsuspecting holiday drudgery type people.
Oh boy.
It's gonna be fine.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Okay. So I'm saying that at this place, this particular office we're at, the partygoers are a mix of old clients, potential clients, and even a few amateur ghost hunters. The party has been mostly contained to the reception room, boardroom, and the sad employee lunchroom. Access to other areas of the office are locked and off limits to guests. As the revelers burst into a drunken rendition of Jingle Bell Rock, complete with terrible dancing, the entire building begins to shake violently. Moments later, a spectral entity squeezes under one of the locked doors, bursting into the party. It takes a moment to shove some sad canapes into its mouth before quickly phasing through the wall and out of the building. Paint the scene. What does this ghost look like? And during what job did you previously capture it? I think we can make this up because, I mean, like, we've done several adventures, but it doesn't have to be one of our ghosts. Again, since this is a different office.
Right.
What if, to go along with the holiday theme, what if it looks like Santa Claus? It's the ghost of Santa Claus. Feel free to pitch a different idea, of course.
I'm going to assume that we don't have any children about at this party, because if they did, then they'd probably be screaming screaming their heads off. But even then, I think there's a few adults that are a little traumatized. It's like, what? Santa's this ghost? What?
Santa's dead.
Santa's dead. Right,
Wh-
exactly.
Waylend
like-
among them. Like,
Yeah, it's like, oh,
what?
yeah, exactly. And then like, during what job did you previously capture it? And I think Ronnie might even like kind of recall something, and then try to reassure those people. It's like, no, it's probably one of those doppelganger type of ghosts, and like, they're gonna imitate some media. They're gonna imitate, like, maybe spirits or forms that they've seen or like wanted to be like. So I've seen some ghosts, like, turn into the spirit of Abraham Lincoln. But I mean, it's really because of President's Day. I mean, like, this is probably just like that. You're fine, you're good. Several of the guests erupt in cheers and laughter, assuming this is simply part of the entertainment, but you know better. The spectral containment unit has obviously malfunctioned, or maybe it's been sabotaged. Tonight's event has turned from a raucous party into a race to contain the ghosts and discover the truth of what has happened. Goal: identify and capture 3 remaining ghosts in the building and uncover the cause of the containment breach. Oh boy. Okay.
Nice.
So yeah.
I love this already.
Yes, it's going to be hilarious. All right, great. So let's open up with, okay, hold on. I just want to like line myself up here.
I think we have a moment where Dr. Fern watches the ghost of Santa Claus leave the room, and I think we all kind of lock eyes with each other at one point, and then there's like
Mhm.
and then Dr. Fern grabs some, I don't know, tinsel off of one of the decoration things. It's cheap tinsel. It's really thick tinsel. I think it's maybe just actually aluminum foil, but that's okay. She wraps it around her head and ties it like Rambo. Let's go. Holiday gun on her shoulder.
That's going to fall off, right?
Yeah, but it looks cool.
It does look cool, but I mean, like, it's going to fall off because that thing's like light as a feather.
It's okay.
Just saying. Okay. All right.
But it look cool right now.
Okay. All right. As long as you're happy. All right. Great. Cool. Wonderful. Okay. So let's pull some cards. All right. So like one location card, one paranormal, one NPC card, and one clue card.
Just gonna quickly rearrange the cards in the order of the thing. Hearts, diamonds, spades, clubs. Perfect. So we have the 5 of hearts.
Okay.
The 8 of diamonds,
Mhm.
the 4 of spades, and the 7 of clubs.
Okay. So since it's just, excuse me, the 3 of us, I'm going to say, let's do NPCs for whomever is not engaged in the scene. Okay. So NPCs will be covered by whomever. Location, let's go ahead and have Amanda to start. Paranormal events will be me. And then Brent, if you don't mind, we'll have you do clues.
No
Start.
problem.
Okay. So take us to the first location.
I missed some of that. Who's doing locations? Is it me?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. I was a little distracted. Yeah, my
Like the
brain
Batman,
is
that Batman whirly,
melted.
like, whirly symbol. It's like
That's kind of what my brain is doing always, actually. I think if we're all going to head out together, and I think it's a good idea to just stick together at first, at the very least, we're all going to go to the library, which is a cramped room with a few shelves of books and 2 outdated computers. There's a knockoff high-end lamp that illuminates a small table next to a beat-up, overstuffed chair. Outside the one window, a nest of baby crows loudly proclaim their presence to the world. That's how I imagine they sound.
Oh, I thought this holiday couldn't get any worse.
I mean, I'm
Ugh.
like, Ronnie will whisper to Brent. It's like, I mean, to Waylend. Oh my God, I'm losing it. Let me change my name, because otherwise I'm going to get confused. Anyway, so Ronnie will talk to Waylend and say, this is, why? This looks horrific. Your room looks better than this, much less like our library. What?
Speaking of libraries, paint the scene. Paranormal Inc. book collection used to be the best in the city. Used to be the best in the city. What happened to it?
I think what if as a cost saving measure, since this is in my head, I'm imagining this as like one of the Paranormal Inc. regional offices.
Mhm.
So we're sort of the main headquarters, but then there are like, I don't know, this is like the Maritimes regional office or whatever in Canada.
I love that we're in Canada. Established. Great. We're in like Halifax.
Really?
Oh,
not even Halifax. We're in like Charlottetown, PEI.
We're in Moncton.
wait, this office or our office?
I think
This
this office
office.
that we're
Okay,
at, yeah.
okay, just making
Yeah.
sure. Okay,
Yep, Moncton, New Brunswick.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
okay.
Um,
Okay, so their book collection used to be the best in the city. What happened?
I think as a cost saving measure, they donated the bulk of the books to the local library with the feeling that like, well, why should we pay to store them, like have a big library and store that on site when we can, first of all, we'll digitize the books before they go. So now they're on the computer. So now there's a collection of PDFs. But if we need the actual books for something, we'll just donate it to the local library with the understanding that they'll keep it in their rare book collection, and then we'll have access to it. And then they can pay for storage. And we can still access the books if we need to.
I think as an additional cost saving measure, when they got a person to digitize all of the books, they were doing it as fast as possible. And so none of them actually have like good bookmarks and such in the PDFs.
No.
They're just straight PDFs and nearly impossible to search.
Yeah.
Oh, searching? What the hell does that mean? Nothing at all. So, and I think the reason why that they're in such a cramped office is because, they had to move from their original location, which was probably as big, if not bigger than ours, into this dinky office. So,
yeah,
that's why they did that.
They're in oh no, they're in like one of those strip malls.
Oh,
that's like,
God.
I like the idea that even then they have sort of sectioned off half the office and they're renting out that, like subletting out that half of the office to like a daycare or something.
yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah,
So it's not in use right now because this is during a holiday party.
Oh,
There's nobody
and
in the daycare section, but
and that's where they got all the plates and cups and stuff from. Just like the ongoing series of birthdays over at the daycare.
Yeah.
They're just sort of like, hey, can we borrow some plates and cups for our sorry.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Oh no. What if the thing, that concoction is in their milk warmer?
that makes it worse. I love it. It's so bad.
No.
Oh my God. Okay. So let's look at the NPC. I'm just curious. Let's see. 4 of spades. Oh no, God. Diane Pentagast, the custodian. Yeah, I think, okay. So Diane, she's in this place. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking she's taking a well-deserved break, whether she should be or not, so she's gray-haired, she's a chain smoker, 100% over the office shenanigans, so probably a little bit like Ronnie, but doesn't get paid as much. Diane has been the custodian at Paranormal Incorporated longer than anyone else has ever worked here. No one really knows how old she is, and there's a rumor she might not even be fully human. Diane has always aspired to be an actual investigator. Oh my gosh. I mean, Ronnie's going to be like reaching out, because I bet you, I mean, like, I'm going to be snatching her up if she knows her shit. So, oh my gosh, quote. Okay, here we go. I think we see her in this overstuffed chair, the beat up chair. And I think she is chain smoking. She knows she ain't supposed to be, but she kind of makes a shift to figure it out. She's got,
It's not like there's any books in this room anyway.
yeah, it's so true. I mean,
Yeah.
like, the computer, who cares, whatever. We can see like a film smoke up in the air, like, when we come in and we're like taking a look, and we're just like, she's like kind of blown like some smoke in the chair and going, you think that the higher ups would take me seriously? No one here has seen what I've seen. But no, it's always, Diane, a ghost exploded in the lab. Can you bring them up? Or, Diane, the toilet's overflowing again. Ugh. Ugh. I know what's going on. She's poking the cigarette in our direction, in our general direction. I know what's going on. But you know what? I'm on a break. I don't care. They're on a break outside. So, and then she drips her ashes into, like, I guess a fortified cup of some sort, because there's no ashtrays in here.
It's true.
So
Into a Labatt's bottle.
yeah, I think Ronnie will go over to Diane and kind of engage her in conversation, like kind of lean against one of the desks and just be like, start to talk to her about, her experience and stuff, because Ronnie's always looking out for more investigators. So that's not a problem. What are you two doing?
Hmm.
How would you like to investigate?
Trying to figure out where these ghosts have gone, what ghosts have escaped, how are we going to get them back?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know.
I was gonna say I'm gonna go over and I mean, normally Waylend would immediately make a beeline for the books, but that's like one shelf. Waylend has already looked at it and gone like, yeah, okay, that's a phone book. That's like
And like the computer's
of-
probably an outdated phone book. I mean, I don't know if
Yeah.
you guys still print phone books. Come on.
yeah, like of the 8 books on that shelf, like one of them is an old phone book and one of them is like a guidebook to the city. There's like 2 farmers almanacs and like it's just, so there's nothing there but those baby ravens. Like something has them upset, so he's going to go over and just sort of poke around there and see what's going on, because I mean, yeah, normally they're fairly vocal, but they're not so loud that you can hear them. Yeah.
I mean, they're
So
they're very loud, probably. So you're like,
yeah.
what the fudge? Okay, so yeah, go ahead and roll 2d6 as usual. With
Mhm.
brain does not want to work today. What seems appropriate?
I feel like in this case, maybe intuition, because you're kind of like intuiting that these birds are being weird.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Okay. That's a +1. That goes along with my, ooh, that's a 9. So 10.
Okay, fabulous. All right, so with a 10, you get sorry. You get a clue, of course. And then let's see. Oh, poop. We need to set up a
What was our clubs?
7.
Yeah.
7. Normally, since I'm the one investigating, I would suggest somebody else, but I actually grab the clue, but I actually like one of the clues on here.
Go for it.
And I think it's fitting with the ravens.
Mhm.
So they've constructed this sort of, I'm guessing we're at least on the 2nd floor. Like, I think, I think there's at least a 2nd floor on this.
So not only are we in like a kind of a crappy strip mall, we're
Yeah.
on the 2nd floor. We're not even the public facing. I love that. That's
Mhm.
great.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I mean,
No.
because I'm also thinking it's like, maybe this used to be like a doctor's office, like, or like one of those like not urgent care, but like non-urgent care places in the mall. So we have access to these offices, but again, they're just kind of dunky, because it's old. Not
Yeah.
really been updated in a while.
Yeah.
So what's the clue?
So the clue as listed is a box of mementos, and I'm going to like extrapolate that out to because this is like a raven's nest. They've grabbed just a number of, possibly from inside the office, because I mean, who knows with these people, whether they've left the windows open, stuff like that. But definitely they've like, there's just in amongst all the twigs and like plastic bags and stuff like that that the ravens have used to construct this are like Christmas decorations, and you know, I can see somebody's bracelet and just, you know, a bunch of stuff from like things that I recognize that Dr. Fern might work with to build something. So like little transistors and things like that have obviously, these ravens have either stolen from inside the offices somehow or have grabbed from the dumpster out back, which seems to imply that somebody has been throwing out a lot of stuff from the Paranormal Inc. office here. So
I think without turning around, I think Diane in the chair, as in the middle of her talking with Ronnie, is saying, it's like, make sure you clean that up. I'm not taking out your trash for you.
Yeah, I like the idea that Waylend is just like, so there's no adult ravens around anywhere. It's just this like collection of like 3 baby ravens. And in order to get a better look, Waylend is just sort of like opened the window, picked up the nest like wholesale, and is just holding it and looking at it. And of course, the ravens are, you know, just looking up at him and screaming at him. And because they expect to get fed, like that's their context for so I think Waylend is going to like, he's like the best I can do is oh, just a second. He reaches into like a pocket and pulls out like a bag of that penny candy, and it's that penny candy like gummy worm things. And he's like, yeah, here you go. I mean, it's just gelatin and sugar. It's just,
yeah, but you do realize, and I mean, you do realize, and Marvin would actually probably pipe up and say something in your head and say, you do realize that you got to chew that stuff up and regurge to them, right?
oh,
Say the birds.
oh,
They can't eat that like that.
yeah, I guess that makes sense. So he pops a gummy worm into his a couple of gummy worms into his mouth, and he's like, spits
We'll
it,
have content warnings before I put this up.
spits it onto, I mean, tries to get it in the mouth, but like, let's be honest, spits it onto a baby raven. Like, let's, you know.
I mean,
I'm not even gonna roll to see if Waylend just like miraculously has dexterous feeding abilities or anything
it's
like
fine.
that.
It's
just like,
fine.
no,
We
he
just have to hand wave that away.
Yeah.
Awesome. Oh my gosh.
But what if I really want to pull a risky move in here? Like I really want to make this happen.
Oh
What
gosh.
if, I mean, feeding a wild animal, that's a risk.
Okay.
All right.
What are you afraid will happen if you fail at feeding them well or lose your nerve?
Well, I mean, they could die
Oh.
if they don't get fed. And I mean, you know, partially I think Waylend realizes that maybe if he puts them back out on the ledge or whatever, like the adult ravens will come back and bring them food. That's probably what they're off doing right now. But like, what if they have been abandoned? Like, what if the ghosts scared off the adults and they're not coming back?
Right. Or something else scared off the adults.
Yeah.
So in this case, yeah, you know, for funsies, let's put it for not reason, hello, science, because you're trying to do something
Okay.
towards these birds.
All right.
Boy.
That's a -1.
Risky.
Yep. Let's do it. Yes. What a time to roll boxcars.
Ooh.
So even with a -1, that's 11.
On a 10 or 11, you do what you intended or you hold steady. Describe what it looks like.
In not disgusting detail, please.
Yeah, exactly.
Waylend properly feeds the baby ravens.
Oh, so sweet.
I would like to suggest that because you rolled so well, maybe this is one of those situations where now the baby ravens will kind of be excited to see you.
Have
I'm
imprinted?
thinking, yeah, maybe like I don't know, because I feel like I don't want them to, we'll just assume that they can get their own food after this, maybe. But
Yes.
I feel like
Oh, yes.
Brent and I both know a person here in town named Allison, and Allison feeds magpies on her
Oh, nice.
balcony. And
Okay.
so when she gets off the bus coming home from work, the magpies see her and they get really excited and follow her down the road.
Oh, wow.
So she gets some. So she has this flock of magpies that follows her around.
That's
And I'm just
amazing.
kind of imagining that for Waylend right now.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. That's so sweet. Oh my gosh. Okay. So I'm going to get to Ronnie and Diane's conversation in a bit, but what is Dr. Fern doing in this room? Remember, there's outdated computers here, so I don't know if you want to muck around with those.
I feel like I know that the computers are outdated and boring, and instead I'm going to do a little bit. Maybe I've been into the nog a bit. I don't know, so I'm going to be a little different. Do a little different thing for Fern. Dr. Fern is going to go to the knockoff high-end lamp that's illuminating the table kind of right next to where Diane is sitting. And I think I'm just gonna, it's one of those, I think it's like a knockoff Tiffany lamp. Very clearly not a good one, but it's got colors and stuff, so that's nice. And it's got a little gold chain. And I'm going to just pull the chain a whole bunch of times and have the light flash on and off and look around the room and see if I can catch a ghost doing a ghostly thing as the light changes.
Science. Well, I mean, I don't know about
I don't know if I can
science.
roll it with science.
Yeah, this doesn't seem to be following the scientific method, except for, does this light work? I mean,
Maybe vigor, because I'm vigorously pulling the chain on.
At this point, it's the holiday. I'll take anything, really, pretty much, if you want to roll with vigor. Because
we are
more vigorously, trying to turn the lamp on and off. I don't know.
This is gonna be a really great game. I'm excited
This
for this
nog,
start.
this nog has gotten spiked. I don't care
Yeah.
who did it. It's somebody did it, and that's
somebody actually tasted it and then was like, no.
No.
Oh
no.
I rolled an 8.
Okay, so for investigation, or what was it called here?
So there's a 7 to 9. There's a complication either with the clue itself or something you encounter while searching. The player on your right, or a random player if you're playing online, will describe the complication.
Okay. So, oh well, I think this is a perfect time for a paranormal event to happen. Hold on, let me go crap this over. 8.
The new clue prompt is the 5.
Okay. So hold on, let me get the paranormal event.
And our paranormal event was the 8.
Yes. Okay. Oh my God. Oh, this is great. I'm going to do this because it's like we need to get the ghostly encounters move in here somewhere. Okay, so what happens when you do that? Like, flicking on the light on and off, out of, it looks like it came from behind the bookcase, but it really, I mean, there's nothing back there. But an apparition goes from each of us. First starts with Fern, but Dr. Fern, but then goes to probably Waylend at the window, and then tries to engage Diane and Diane and Ronnie in conversation, asking where it can purchase myrrh. Since it goes to you first, do you want to engage in the ghostly encounters move? I think Can do that.
I definitely do.
Yes.
I'm just going to read it out because I
Yes.
never remember this one.
I know, neither do I. So we're
When
doing
you
it.
have an interaction with a ghost while investigating, choose from one from below. If the interaction is related to your personal haunting, you would choose two, but in this case, it's not. You may ask the ghost a personal question about another investigator, and the investigator must answer honestly. You receive a ghostly vision about another investigator, describe it, and add +1 to your next discovery move. You may clear an appropriate condition, which can be chosen twice. And if the interaction is related to your personal haunting, you may stumble on a clue relevant to the scene. Now, since this is not related to my personal haunting, and I don't have any conditions, I think I'm going to receive a ghostly vision about another investigator. I think what happens is this ghost comes up and asks about purchasing myrrh. Strangely enough, I have a little bottle of myrrh oil in my pocket. I use it for making resins. So I kind of open it up or take it out and kind of look at it and say like this? Do you want this? And I think the ghost, I mean, can't really take it, but I think it reaches out appreciatively. And when the ghostly hand passes through mine, that's when I receive a ghostly vision about another investigator. Now, do I describe the vision or does somebody else describe the vision? How does that work?
It says describe it. So I'm assuming it means describe it, meaning the ghostly vision, and then add +1. Just make sure you mark it. Add +1 to your next discovery move. Okay. So just make a notation about that. You'll get a clue in a minute once you describe the vision that you see.
I think when the apparition's hand passes through mine, I blink a few times because my vision goes white. And I look over at Waylend. But I don't see Waylend. I see Marvin. And Marvin turns back and looks at me with a big happy smile and says, "Happy holidays." And I blink again. And it's just Waylend again, feeding the birds, the gummy bears, the chewed up gummy bears. And I shake my head. Well, that was weird. Must have had too much nog.
A concoction probably nasty, but okay, fine. What clue? What clue does Dr. Fern get? 5 of clubs. Yeah.
5 of clubs. Let's see. Oh, I think this one is appropriate to where we are and how these people have been looking after their books. A spell book, but with a missing page.
Oh, fridge. Of course.
So I'm imagining it's like one of those. It's like the library wouldn't take it because most libraries have a rule about like not taking journals and things like that. It's a fully handwritten book, but it used to have an index at the front, which made it possible for you to like go through and find stuff really easily. Now the index is missing. Somebody has taken that out. So, and it's not even like a good removal. You can see the torn edge of the page at the front of the book.
Yeah. Ugh.
Can we determine based on what other spells are in that spell section, what kind of spell it might be? We can also leave that for when we do.
I was going to say, let's
theorizing.
see. We could conceivably contextualize, but it doesn't hurt to think about it now to start thinking about it. So that's cool. Okay. So we did the paranormal thing. Yeah. And then when you come back to yourself, the ghost is looking at you and then like trying to grab it and just comes away and then looks disappointed. And then just looks to the others and like maybe we'll stop by, murmur something to to Waylend, and then come by and try to interrupt a conversation that Ronnie's having with Diane, but not succeeding. And then we'll drift right back into the behind the shelf and disappear. Okay. All right.
Oh,
so
shoot, we probably should have caught that ghost. I mean, it was really more of an apparition rather than one of the ghosts we were chasing, but still, oops.
Oh, well.
Next time.
Next time.
Not
And
our
then-
circus, not our monkeys.
And then Ronnie will continue conversation with Diane. And since I don't want to be playing two talking heads,
Do you want me to be Diane?
you want to be Diane? That's fine. We can totally do it.
Can you give me your Diane impression again? Just really
Hold on,
quick.
I have to read out her thing just to give a better. Here we go. You'd think that higher ups would take me seriously. No one here has seen what I've seen. Oh no. It's Diane, a ghost exploded in the lab. Can you bring them up? Or Diane, the toilet's overflowing again. Yeah.
You know, sometimes it's real annoying. You got this guy over here and he's leaning out the window, feeding some birds. Got Dr. Fern over here, probably gonna blow something up. Ronnie, I just don't really have a Christmas spirit, you know?
Well, I mean, granted, I'm sure you've seen so much in your time in this office that you've probably seen it all. I mean, you have your probably equivalents to Waylend and Dr. Fern here in this office. Can you tell me about some of these ghosts that are broken out of containment?
Well, I don't know which ones are broken out specifically, so to speak, but I gotta tell you, there have been some real weird ones here at this office. Now, you may know about Moncton's famous magnetic hill. Why did we put it in Moncton? I don't know anything about Moncton. Except for the magnetic hill. I've been there.
Actually, that works out perfectly because I mean, electromagnetism, ghosts, all that. So that's fine. We make it up. Remember,
Yeah.
hand wave.
I gotta tell you, we've caught like 8 different ghosts. Well, I mean, not me. Nobody invites me to go on any investigations. But 8 different ghosts from that hill alone. Mostly hitchhikers.
Do you want that situation to change, Diane? I mean, did you want to go out in the field?
Well, I mean, it does look pretty exciting. I'm getting really weirdly Brooklyn-y now. It does look real exciting.
Well, I mean, it can be, but it's also dangerous. I mean, I know it's compared to custodian duties, I'm sure it's much more exciting for sure. But I mean, you also have to consider the physical and mental and emotional risks for doing this.
Ronnie, you got to consider the physical and emotional and mental risks of doing custodian work. Do you know the things I see on a daily basis?
Oh, yeah.
You know, the messes people make? The messes people are, in their beings?
Well, I mean,
I don't just clean up the trash.
Well, Dr. Fern has kept some interesting things underneath her bed in our office. So, yeah.
I heard stories.
Yeah, we're full of stories, I'm sure. Listen, I'm going to give you my card. And then if you are truly interested, maybe we can have you intern and kind of follow, if you have time, we can have you follow one of our investigators in our office and then see if it's something that you really want to do. I mean, I'm all for getting people to expand their horizons and try to help out, especially because of stuff like this happening. But I don't want you to go in with eyes closed. Okay. Yeah, I think she's trying to engage Diane personally. So, trying to get more information out of her. So I'm going to say wits in this case.
I think wits make sense.
Yeah. Okay. So, I mean, we have the 7 and 5 of clubs right now on the table. We can conceivably keep running with one of those because, of course, the multitude of clues that are on the cards. Okay. So that puts it, let's see, 7 plus 2 is 9.
And since that is a mixed success or a success with complications, you do get a complication either with the clue itself or something you encounter while searching.
Well, I'm talking with her right now, so.
Yeah. What was our paranormal event card? I'm going to pull another one.
8.
From that.
Yeah.
I think as this conversation is happening, with the complication that's happening to you is that snowflakes start to fall from the ceiling and the temperature plummets, flash freezing all liquids in the room. It's mostly noticeable because Diane goes to put out her cigarette in her Labatt's bottle that still has a little bit of a beer at the bottom.
Frozen.
And it just kind of funks down onto the ice of the beer.
Oh my gosh.
Well, that's unusual.
Yeah, real cold. It doesn't snow in an office usually. This is what I mean in the field, but worse.
Gonna be a real pain to clean up.
I mean, it might disappear. I mean, like, let's check in a couple of minutes and see if it dissolves into ectoplasm and then, dissipates. All right. Don't worry about it until then. Besides, you're on your break, right?
From this?
I don't know. I mean, what do you guys think?
I just want to make your life complicated because I'm a bad person.
I mean, I'm a very good person and I still want a complication. So
I'll give myself a complication for the last problem too, if that helps.
Okay.
My problem, mine is going to be, what happened with that?
You saw the dude.
I saw
Asking
Marvin.
for Mer.
Yeah.
And you saw Marvin, yeah.
I'm gonna be obsessed with Marvin.
Oh dear.
Uh-oh.
Great. I'm gonna say my condition is a chill inside.
I like that because maybe even from the conversation that you're having with Diane about how emotionally difficult it is to do this sort of investigative work, something that Ronnie doesn't get to really face a lot in their life because they're so busy managing everyone else, I think
Right.
that could be really fun for some role play.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Like we do role play. You're funny. Okay, clue. What's the clue? You can pick 7 or 5 of clubs since we have like 4 clues from those 2 cards together to pick from.
I think our clue is going to be a sudden power outage. So it gets really cold. So here's how I'm picturing. I was going to say this in the least gross way possible. So when the temperature drops and all the liquids freeze, let's just say that Waylend was in mid-spit. So Waylend turns around to say, "Oh, that was really weird," and it comes out sort of like weird because his mouth is partially frozen shut because of chewed up gummy bear that he was, which you mercifully don't have to look at very long because the power just suddenly goes out.
I've played a lot of horror games, but that's one of the most horrific things I've ever encountered in a game.
Holy cow. And then now we see like the very dim glow going out of Diane's cigarette. Like what she's smoking. And she's like, "Oh, well, that hasn't happened either here. Okay, this is new. I think I'm over my break." And then she will get up and try to get out of the room, which I would suggest the same for the rest of us.
Yeah, maybe we should also go. It's pretty cold in here.
Yeah.
What are you going to do with the ravens, Waylend?
So Waylend is going to put them back out on the off chance that the adults are coming back at some point in time. He will check on them again before he leaves, but just in case, he quickly chews up and spits out a bunch of gummy candy sort of on the side of the nest as a little buffet. If the birds decide they're really hungry, they can go over and grab some of that. Maybe they'll figure out how to help their development along, help them figure out how to get food on their own.
And what's even more creepy about this is the fact that when you do put them outside on the sill, You realize with your hand reaching out that it's warmer outside than it is inside.
Yeah.
In Moncton, in the
Yeah.
winter.
Oh God, this sounds bad. All right, so let's flip to the next scene, which will need another location card, another paranormal card, another NPC card, and then let's do another clue card to start. Yep.
Sure.
We've got the 7 of hearts,
Mm-hmm.
the 6 of diamonds,
Uh-huh.
6 of spades,
Uh-huh.
and the 9 of clubs.
9 of clubs. All right, so then we're gonna move this over. So it'll be me doing location this time, and then we'll do Brent for paranormal. Okay. NPCs again are the catch-all, so whomever's not, talking in the scene. And then for the clues, we'll have Amanda. Okay.
Cool.
All right, great. So location 7. Let me go back to that. So from out of the library, we find ourselves, holy crap. We wander down the hallway and find the scientist lab, the largest space in the office. Huh. There are multiple workbenches and shelves covered with tools and parts. A few complicated looking contraptions occasionally spark with electricity. The containment unit crouches in the center of the room inside a plexiglass cell. Paint the scene. What do you see that tells you the scientist has been working on some unsanctioned projects? We don't know nothing about that.
I don't know what you're talking about. Everything looks normal in here. Don't worry about it.
Okay, so I mean, hold on. Let me just just for funsies, let's just double check the people, the NPCs, and see if there is a scientist. Because we can conceivably even make up this guy. You know him, Dr. Fern. But maybe he's not here for the holiday party because he's doing whatever he's doing. So what's this guy's name?
Dr. Blurn. Blake Blurn.
Blake Blurn.
Blake Blurn. Yeah.
Here's a fun fact. I think Dr. Blurn has been trying to ask you out for a few years. Ever since knowing that you were working at our office.
Wow, I'm oblivious to that.
Yes, you are. So there might be something in this office that we see. I'm just saying, fanboy of Dr.
I love that. That actually fits in with what I was going to suggest, because I wanted to suggest that this lab not only is familiar because of it being like a lab and has like all the bits of equipment, it is laid out as a dead ringer for Dr. Fern's lab, like down to where the computers are, down to where the workstations are, just like, yeah.
Okay, so dead ringer format. Oh boy.
I also like the idea, if Dr. Blurn has been trying to ask Dr. Fern out, maybe he's been trying to do it with like clever science-y puns things. So he keeps sending over like, hey, do you want to grab dinner? But it's all like periodic table of the elements letters.
Oh my
jumbled together.
God.
And of course, Dr. Fern is just looks at it and sees table of periodic and is like, that's not anything. What? And is like asking him about like, wow, I've never seen a compound like that before. What are you researching right now? Do you have like a sample you can send over? And he's too shy or embarrassed to explain that.
Dr. Fern just takes everything at face value, like
Yes.
completely. Like, oh yeah, of course. Like, here's a sample. Here's a good one. I'll package it up for you. Really nice.
Yeah.
I think that one of
illegally sending things across the border.
Well,
we're not going to talk about that.
No. I think that one of his projects is something that's underneath the tables. Let me see. It's underneath one of the workbenches. And the way we can tell it's an unsanctioned project is because it's got, how to say, I think it's got a music selection from one of our previous cases that Dr. Fern might have said it's like, she listens to this or what have you. And it's like, it's got the ability to play on the outside of this thing that he's created. Can't quite tell what the hell it is, but I mean, like, we know it plays music on the side. Dr. Fern's favorite or most played song ever on Spotify or whatever.
No. This is Dr. Blern working his way up to a say anything moment. We are moments away. We are like weeks, perhaps days away from Dr. Blern showing up outside of Dr. Fern's like apartment or the main Paranormal Inc. holding this device above their head with the music
like the
playing.
boom box. Yeah. It's like the boom. Oh no. Oh God. Oh shit. Sorry, lined it up. Too bad. Okay.
It's gonna be a wonderful moment when Dr. Fern and Mike the microphone look out and see this.
Yeah.
Mike the microphone is probably going to be prodding you in the back and just kind of, if microphones had faces, it would give you a look of like, what the fuck?
And I think internally, like Marvin clocks it first, and in like mentally nudges Waylend, and Waylend is like, what? And then Waylend realizes what this is, and they mentally just sort of like look at one another, and it's like, we're not saying anything, right? Nope. Not getting in the middle of this at all.
And Ronnie, like, Ronnie's the one that saw it. So, they're looking at it and then kind of actually pulling it out and then holding it. And it's like, oh, and we're going to put that right back underneath the bench.
Dr. Fern kind of peeks over your shoulder. Hey, I love that song.
Whoa.
Goes back to her thing.
Yeah. And to distract Dr. Fern, like, Ronnie's going to reach behind them and then pull out her favorite coffee. What is it today? What flavor is it today?
Well, since we're feeling festive, we're going to go. It's a really good festive. Salted caramel and ginger, but like a lot of ginger.
We can smell it.
Overpowering amounts of ginger.
There you go. It's like, oof, okay. Yeah, I mean, I add a little turmeric and then like, you're great for your immune system, Dr. Fern. Awesome. I think also too, I think we've gotten a what's the word? Like a hangers on. I think Diane has followed us into the lab, and she's kind of like just making comments of like, yeah, he keeps this like in a terrible mess, but I mean, he seems to know where everything is. It's fine, I guess. I don't know.
I don't know what she's saying. It looks fine to me.
And Ronnie just looks at you and says, I think this person kind of likes to model off of. Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, it's fine.
I mean, I do see a model rocket ship over there. Weirdly enough, I have the same one in my lab.
And then Ronnie will look at Waylend. Am I thinking right? Am I noticing this? Are you noticing this?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
Do we have an HR department?
No, not really.
Are you our HR?
I'm the HR department. So yeah, you know what? I mean, like
you might want to alert yourself.
Yeah, I may have to like, and Ronnie takes out their phone and then like, makes a note to do a possible cease and desist, maybe just in case. We'll see. We'll find out. And then yeah, Diane's just kind of like double checking since she's here anyway. She's gonna be like, well, I guess I'm off break. I think I'll do a little bit of like, cleaning and stuff. And then Ronnie will say, you know what? This is a great opportunity to do a little bit of investigation. If you want to be either behind me or like, watch what Wayland's doing, like, how we do it. I don't suggest Dr. Fern at the moment because I mean, like, I think she's a little bit involved in admiring what's around here, I guess. So yeah, just go ahead and shadow one of us. So, all right, that's the location. Oh, did anybody else have anything? We're just noticing this guy. I love how we just created this complete character out of the air. It's gonna come back and bite us in the ass later.
Yeah. Honestly, that's yeah. I think that even though they're not here, I think that is the NPC for the space. I think that is the
okay.
We're just gonna find little bits of Dr. Blurn.
Oh, this could be bad. Okay, so hold on. Okay, so who's investigating and how? I mean, like, we all can investigate here. It's fine.
I think once Waylend sort of gets over the fact that
creepy,
this is a potential. Yes, it's creepy. I think Waylend also appreciates the potential for humor in this situation. Perhaps he's watched one too many romantic comedies, so he and Marvin just sort of make a mental note that, to make sure that they get a good seat when Dr. Blurn actually shows up to the offices or whatever.
You're gonna be requisitioning a little popcorn machine in your office, aren't you?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. And just like watch this unfold. But I think as far as exploring this lab,
I think Ronnie's gonna warn you. It's like, Waylend, this looks way too much like Dr. Fern's office. So please, please, please be careful.
Yeah. Actually, he's going to go over to Dr. Blurn's desk.
Good job. Yep.
Doesn't really want to mess with anything that's on, like, a counter or a work surface, because
sure.
For the same reason that he wouldn't go into Dr. Fern's lab and touch anything that's on a work surface or a countertop or anything like that, because don't know how it's going to react. So
discovery with, I want to say science.
Yeah, even though it's a -1, I think you're right.
Or intuition. I mean, if you're thinking of something,
I think it's less sciencey because he's leaving alone like the stuff that's actually being worked on in the lab. I think it's more that he's trying to figure out what's going on with Dr. Blurn.
Okay. Tuition charge.
So I think this is going to be and that is a 10.
Nice. Okay. So you find clue, no problem, I believe. So yeah. 9 of clubs.
9 of clubs.
That is Amanda.
I think what you find as you're looking around is on Dr. Blurn's desk, there is a photo of former employees of the regional office here in Moncton, and somebody in the photo stands out to you in a weird way.
And you don't have to contextualize that right now, but I mean, like, oh God. Yeah. Oof. And I think Diane's behind you, and we'll kind of like supplement that. And it's like, oh, look at that. Oh, and then yeah.
The only context
add her answer to that later.
Yeah. And then the only context I'll add right now is that this is a group photo from last year's Christmas party. When the Moncton regional office was a little bit more bustling and thriving. Yeah. So there's obviously more people in there. Obviously Diane is in the picture. Dr. Blurn is there. There's a bunch of other people.
What does Dr. Blurn look like? I'm just curious.
I want him to be like super hot. Like just this really weird, super hot guy.
Yeah. I was going to be like just
but there's like something off about him. Like, there's something like, how we have nerdy and geeky,
Yeah.
but there's the nerdy geeky that's like, there's something off about
Yeah.
it. Even if he's super hot, it doesn't matter. There's just something weird.
Yeah, kind of like how like gatekeepy almost, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Gross.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry.
like I want to say he's like a grumpy Ryan Gosling.
Oh, God.
I love that.
Oh, Jess.
So until he talks,
God.
super hot,
Super hot.
right?
Oh, no.
But then as soon as he talks, it's all of that.
Oh,
Just
There's
negativity.
just negativity and that sort of excuse me. Sorry, we'll leave it at
Bless you.
negativity.
yeah. Holy shit. Oh, no. Okay. All right.
Except
Dr.
he's
Go ahead.
except he's very positive about Dr. Fern.
Oh,
Weird.
Yeah.
well,
So Dr. Fern never sees the negativity because he's never like that
Yeah.
right.
when they're talking, because they're usually talking
There's-
about science.
There's always, well, right. I mean, because like he knows you love science and he loves science too, but I mean, like he's gonna like it like you do. So, oh boy, this is gonna be difficult later.
Be fine.
It'll be fine. Well, I'm gonna say it's like, now that we have him, I'm gonna say, and it's gonna be weird. I'm gonna introduce him into like if we do the next mystery, which is the down on the riverside boat one, because that'll be just a prime opportunity.
Imagine pushing him off the boat. That'll be so fun. I mean,
You will have no qualms. You push somebody into another dimensional pocket. Jesus.
Yeah.
So you're not gonna
it
have any
was for
problem with this.
science.
For
Yeah.
science. You're gonna get a bumper sticker for never mind.
What Dr. Fern is doing is also kind of poking around at the gadgets. One part trying to figure out, like, if getting a look at what the technology that is being used in this office will give an idea of what sort of ghosts they've been catching.
Mm.
But also, I think she spots a cool kind of X-ray gun and holds it up to secretly take a little snap of Waylend to see if she can see Marvin, like, in there. Just a little.
Oh my god.
Just
Okay.
a little X-ray. It's gonna be fine. It's only a little bit of X-rays. Small amounts, totally safe.
Risky. I'm calling risky move on that one. That's so risky. Holy shit.
I think I'm gonna have to do this with. I'm gonna say science.
Okay. What are you afraid will happen if you fail or lose your nerve?
I am afraid that this gun might be stronger than just a simple little X-ray. It might have like super X-rays.
You're gonna
and it
radiate all of us?
might-
Great.
Well, no, I think it might accidentally turn Waylend into a superhero.
Yeah, Dr. Fern's not going to radiate all of us. Just Waylend.
Just Waylend.
Possibly Marvin.
Oh my god. Oh god. Or what if Marvin gets superhero powers? I don't know.
Oh, that would be terrifying and awesome.
Terrifying. Well, we seem to be verging into the terrifying. I don't care what the tone said in the beginning. Okay.
So I think this is probably science, because
Sure.
I am trying to figure out how to make this gun maybe not vaporize people.
Do you want to use a backpack item? We haven't been
I've
using
already
backpack.
rolled,
Oh, okay.
so
Okay.
that is something I always forget to do, and I appreciate the reminder, and I'll remember it next time.
Oh wait, don't forget +1.
That's only for discovery move.
Oh, that's true. Okay,
Yeah.
never mind.
A good
Okay.
reminder. In the end,
What'd
I
you
got
get?
a 9.
Okay.
Rolled an 8 +1. +1? Do I have +1?
For science, I hope so. I mean, geez. 7
At
to 9.
least a +1.
The player to your random player will tell you how your actions would leave you vulnerable, and you can choose to back down or go through with the move. If you go through that, the player describes what it looks like. Yeah, I think you'd be vulnerable where you would.
Do I point the gun in the wrong direction? Because it sounds like a Dr. Fern thing to do.
It sounds like a Dr.
irradiate
Fern thing
myself.
because I think like Dr. Blurn would kind of like emulate you. But I mean, he still has his own way of doing things. So what you think is the front, or you know what I mean, like
Yeah.
front, back, whatever.
Yeah.
it's not what you think. And so therefore I think you're gonna like possibly x-ray or do whatever to yourself. You still want to do this?
Yeah.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
All right, great. So yeah, I think again, it's like because he emulates you but doesn't think like you, I think it's the wrong direction. So you're not looking at Marvin. I mean, like, or Waylend, you're looking at yourself. Oh boy.
I feel like that would prompt a paranormal event.
For sure. Okay, so Brent, 6 of
Yep.
diamonds.
6 of diamonds. All right.
Holy frig.
Sure I'm in the right section. I am. There we go. Oh, let's keep on with our so as you're doing this and you accidentally take a snapshot, a x-ray snapshot of yourself, at the same time that this happens, a ghostly young boy staggers into the room, carrying a load of like meats, wines, and pine logs. Sort of bursts into the room, looks around, looks at you. Have you seen a king about yay tall, treading through snow? No. Oh, okay. Thanks. And then just like quickly scurries off and disappears through like another wall.
And I think at this point it's like, Ronnie has spotted it, and then like, just poking Diane, and it's like, see there. And then before we can actually pull out like, one of our containments or whatever, then the ghost has left, just like the other one.
Yeah.
And
Did everybody else just see like Tiny Tim go through here? I'm seeing spots.
I think Dr. Fern, did you point the gun in the wrong direction again?
I thought it was the right direction.
Ugh.
On my guns, the triggers are all backwards for ease of thumb use. And I think Dr. Fern holds up her hand and she has like a weirdly jointed thumb, and she does that thing. You know, that thing that people are double jointed can do with their thumbs?
Oh,
I can't do
God.
it.
Yeah.
She
No, I
just
know
does that.
Oh my God. Okay. No. Yeah. And then Diane's like, oh my God, I don't think I've ever seen that before. Oh my
Bruce,
goodness.
right?
Dr. Bland doesn't. No, he doesn't have that. That's okay.
Oh.
All right, great. Okay. So before we continue with this, it's like, I just noticed the chat. I'm so sorry. So let's go ahead and take a 5-minute break. We could just leave it on that particular thing before we come back to it. Oh my God.
I love this chaos. See you in a bit.
See you in a 5. We're back from a break, and I'm just trying to remember, did we give you a clue for what you found, Waylend? I don't remember now. I mean, maybe I'm
If we did, it would have been in the 9 of clubs.
oh, it's the former photo.
Yes.
Former
Yes.
employee's photo. Okay, great. Okay. So and Dr. Fern was trying to do something funky to try to look at Waylend, and
I
it
wanted to
didn't
see
work out.
Marvin.
We wanted to see Marvin again, but no, it's like no. So we saw like another one of the ghosts. Oh boy. Okay, it's weird. And yeah.
I think maybe we should probably not be in this room, since I may have just set off a whole bunch of x-rays, and I don't know how he's got this place set up, but
Okay. All right.
maybe.
So I think I think all 4 of us are going to be like, heading out. And it's like, Diane, you don't have to clean this place right now. I think you have to like kind of let the
x-rays dissipate. That's how science works.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah. Let's go into another room. Yeah. Okay. So that said, let's draw another card for each. Hearts, diamonds, spades, and clubs.
We have a 3 of hearts.
Okay.
The 9 of diamonds.
Mhm.
The ace of spades and the ace of clubs.
Ooh, okay. So Brent, you will do the location.
Okay.
Amanda, you will do the paranormal. And everybody, again, free for all for the NPC. And the clue will be me. Okay. All right. And I
All
think
right.
once we finish in this next room, I think we can pretty much try to put together some clues, like, how to theorize something. Because
Mhm.
again, this is a complexity 5. And we always like to roll on pluses. So that's not a big deal. But then we just have to come up with a theory that works. Okay.
Right.
All right. So our location is the 3 of hearts. Where are we?
The boardroom.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is it's a windowless, it's one of the interior rooms. I'm going to say it's windowless, but it's not. It's one of those annoying boardrooms where all the walls are actually glass, like tempered glass. And then if you want privacy, you have to actually go around. And modern ones might have like an automated thing where you press a button and the blinds close. I think this one is old enough. You actually have to go around to different sets of blinds and close them by hand, like twist the little thing and then they get stuck and you have to, anyway.
And then Diane's there with her cigarette, like,
Yeah.
this gets a little annoying. That's kind of why I just leave everything open. It's fine.
But it's like musty and stinky and there's like a pile of sort of old file boxes slumped in the corners, like all the corners. It's one of those rooms where it's clean because I don't think Diane would leave it dirty, but it is very definitely, there is a path from the doorway that gets you to like a narrow pathway around the board table, and there's like enough room for people to slip into chairs and sit down and chat, and there's like space at the whiteboard at the front of the room. But otherwise, like the edges of the room, and especially piled up in the corners, it's just like old file boxes and accordion files and stuff like that. It's sort of the sad little room where they just dump stuff that they given that they're downsizing and doing some stuff, I'm imagining like some of these boxes are just from folks, they bring them into the boardroom for some privacy when they're laying them off. And some of these boxes are just like boxes of personal effects that people have like stormed out without taking. So it adds that just extra little layer of sadness to the whole.
Yeah. What's the paint the scene?
The paint the scene is what inappropriate message has been written on the whiteboard.
Oh God.
Obviously, there could be a few of them.
I think one of them is actually a sticker, and it's stuck up on one of the corners of the whiteboard, and it is for the Logan Lumen fan club.
Oh God. Ew, gross. And then I think
maybe Dr. Fern put it there.
Yeah, probably.
Oh.
And then I think in like another side of the whiteboard, I think somebody wrote down like really in squishy letters. It's like PI, like with the P.I. and then wrote like SS. And then vertically underneath it says Paranormal Incorporated sucks. And then put stars underneath the S, the last S.
Yeah. And just to add a little flavor to that, the S's are those stylized S's that kids learn to draw on their. So
like everybody, I don't have to draw this out because I think everybody knows what this is, but I'm going to draw one out just in case somebody doesn't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Apparently this is a thing worldwide, so it should be something familiar to everyone. There's my markers.
Yeah. Also, if that sticker did come from Dr. Blern, boy, is he in for a shock if he ever learns what we already know about the
yeah, but you know what?
Lumen.
This is probably going to make him like him even more because it's like, now it's like possible benevolence and all this kind of crap.
Now he's aliens. Oh no, you know what we've done?
We made him more popular.
Well, so there's all those fanboys that were defending him up to this point, even when it was quite obvious that he was not a benevolent.
Oh yes, yes.
Yeah, that's the S. So
yes,
two of
that's the
those.
S. Two of those.
But now he is, because now he is taken over by aliens. So it's just gonna, all those fanboys are gonna be like, their theories are confirmed. It's like, look, he's
Yeah.
doing nice things.
He was
Ugh.
always
Like we
great all
said
the
all along.
time.
Yeah.
That's gonna
He was-
suck. But
He was never
we
problematic.
know.
Yeah,
we know. It's fine. Okay. So, but you know what? I think what ends up happening is that, in this room, and again, it's like, because of the way things go around here, I think out of the shadows and from behind the boxes, like, from the windows, I think we see the back end of somebody in a high-end suit with a flashy smile, and then dark eyes shine at us from the shadows as they come out. And
Mhm.
we recognize, or at least Ronnie recognizes this person as being Warwick Hans, the rival. So Warwick owned a successful independent investigation business in the building before selling out to Dormart. He has a personal vendetta against Paranormal Incorporated, but no one really knows why.
Mm.
We're opening up a new budget-friendly service at Dormart. Huh? Check that out. Hi, Ronnie. You didn't answer any of my calls about possibly buying out your office of Dormart. I mean, of Paranormal Incorporated. I mean, Dormart will be so interested in it. And of course, Ronnie just gives him a disinterested glare, if you can believe it. And then while they're doing that, it's like he's still talking. I'm heading it up. You know all about budget clients, obviously. I'm sure once we're up and running, you'll have to close for good. And then Ronnie's just under their breath, they're going to say to Diane, and this is why we, as our own office, are able to support ourselves instead of running budget cuts all the time. So, and then, I think Diane just kind of like, smokes her cigarette, like even more, like, just puffs like in nervousness.
Smoking intensifies.
And smoking intensifies, like the film, like, kind of like starts to flow outward. Yeah. What do you two do?
Yeah. I mean, I think I just home in on like one of the corners and start going through some boxes and see what I can find. And
I'm gonna look
in
under
there.
the tables.
Do you
It's
crawl
always
under
something.
the table?
Yeah.
Okay.
Usually if someone's gonna do something cool, they're gonna like hide it under a table.
Well, there's
At
enough
least that's
boxes in here. I'm
Fern's.
sure there's stuff. But Warwick will give us a disdainful look and before heading out the door.
Yeah, completely
then-
ignored.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love it. Get out of here.
I mean, Ronnie will kick the door closed. That's how much it's like. Yeah,
clown shit.
never liked that guy. No. All right. Yeah. So, and then I think Ronnie will suggest to Diane, now that we're not in a scientific location, I think it's safer to just check out what Dr. Fern is doing. She has really great ideas. Just watch and learn.
Execution is a little.
Well, she doesn't say that, but I mean, well, they don't say that. I'm sorry. Yeah. So, okay. So let's go ahead and just do a little bit of investigation. So, I mean, I'm going to say that, Waylend, you're doing, I guess, more science because you're, looking through some boxes. But I think in this case, like Ronnie's going to apply some vigor. And I'm going to say, like, in your way to Dr. Fern, you're applying vigor as well, because it's like you're physically
Crawling
going underneath the
around.
tables. Yes. And then like Ronnie's going to move some boxes. Ronnie's going to move some boxes around to see, like, if there's any sense or semblance of organization of like, what the fuck is this shit, that kind of thing. So
Okay.
let's go ahead and do our respective roles, and then we'll see who ends up getting complicated.
I do get a +1 on this from my previous
you do.
thing, so just
Perfect.
reminding myself about that.
Yep.
Yeah, Diane, get down here. Get down here under the table with me. There's probably gonna be something cool. There's always something cool under tables.
Yeah, she sticks the cigarette right in the corner of her mouth. All right, I'm coming. Hold on. Hold your horses.
I think what Diane would notice first, more than anything, is the gum that people have stuck under the tables, because people are gross.
Oh, well, thank goodness they never looked under here. Great.
I rolled box cars and I got +1, so that's 13. And that might be the best roll I've ever had in this game.
Okay, great. So, I mean, I think that there's a bonus and something like that for this, I think.
Oh, but it's bigger, so -1 back down to 12.
Oh. Vigor. Oh, vigor, you like shit.
On discovery move for 12 and above, you find 2 clues, and the player responsible for the clue card will tell you what they are. I think that's me.
Yes. No, it's me. Sorry. Okay, Ace. Give me a second. Yeah, so you have no problems with this.
I was right. Cool stuff does happen under tables.
Cool stuff does happen under tables, because what you find under the tables, besides like, more of the boxes, but these are more like the banker boxes instead of like just the big honking cardboard boxes. So this like actually has like files in it or what have you. In one of these banker boxes, it's actually open, and on top of it is a copy of A Christmas Carol.
Weird, but cool.
It's in a box. Like it was on top of a box that had like, just a bunch of like, client files and everything like that.
Should I grab another clue from that one, or do you want me to pull a different clue card?
My
second clue.
No, we can totally yeah, I think when you're scrounging around down there, you're also finding, hold on. Let me just go ahead and move this. Clues. Okay. I think you're also finding on the opposite side under the table, you find a tarot deck. And very specifically, because I think you're like, you're talking while you're like, shuffling around and everything like this, while you don't read the deck, you kind of like have in your mind, like your photographic memory or whatever, like of what belongs in the deck. And you notice right off the bat when you're shuffling that there's no 10 of swords. A tarot deck with the 10 of swords missing.
Yeah, I think as I'm doing this, I'm talking Diane through my process of how I go about investigating, which is literally just like, and then I open the box, and then I look in the box, and then I put like, it's very, very obvious
technical
stuff. Yeah. But when I open the box with the tarot cards and I flip through them and do a aha, like a eureka kind of thing, and I think I stick my hand up with the box of tarot cards up from under the table to show everyone, ha ha, look, as if I found something very like the key thing we needed.
It's a box of tarot cards, Dr. Fern.
Yes, but the 10 of swords is missing. Does anyone know what that means?
We'll have to look that up, and then of course, like Ronnie already pulls out their phone. Makes a note for later, because it's like we'll come together as a group after we do a little bit more searching. Waylend, what you're looking at some boxes, and then you are going through. You're going through them more meticulously, I imagine, than Dr. Fern. So science.
Yes. So
unless you want to parlay something else, I mean, that's fine too.
No, we'll go with science. So unfortunately, that means I rolled a 6 and my science is -1, so I got a 5.
Oh, painful. Oh goodness. Discovery move, miss. What is it? It doesn't say, does it? No, it doesn't. Interesting.
I would say
Oh.
maybe a paranormal event and a complication or a condition.
Yeah, that sounds good. Go ahead.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, your paranormal events.
I am.
Yes.
I
Got 9.
think, yeah, as you look through these, you're looking through all of these files and boxes pretty meticulously using your librarian brain to do really good scanning of the documents without sitting there, reading them through. You're really scanning for the highlighted like keywords. When you hear a strange sound behind you, and you turn and see a half-melted snowman standing right behind you, uncomfortably close. It says to you, Waylend, Marvin, care for a dance? And then it melts away into nothingness.
I would have said yes.
Oh God. It's killing me. Oh.
And I think your condition will be melted heart, because you sounded so sad.
Oh.
Because if you do say this out loud, I think Ronnie hears it as they're moving the boxes and then says, oh man, Waylend. And then behind their back, pull out a Timmy Stars coffee. What flavor is it today?
I think Waylend is it's nothing extravagant. I think Waylend is just super excited to be in Canada, where peppermint is a year-round flavor as opposed to a seasonal one. So it's just a peppermint mocha.
Nice.
Just a venti peppermint mocha.
And basically, like, as Ronnie's passing it over to you, they're kind of like, extra minty. All right, here you go.
Mm-hmm.
And then goes
Sinuses
back.
get cleared.
Yeah. And then goes back to like
peppermint mocha, 10 pumps.
Oh God, yeah, definitely, because that's the only thing that would make that smell, aside from actually the mint leaves in there.
Yeah.
Ronnie's going to again move boxes, be vigorous, and let's see. Can't remember what that looks like. 1. Okay, +1. Okay, that is a 9 total. If you think you can, okay, hold on. I think we're gonna need another clue card for this.
The next clue card is the 10 of clubs, and since it's a complication, I'm going to pull you a paranormal event, and that's the 4 of diamonds.
Okay. Let's see. Since it's me investigating, does somebody want to handle the clue card and the complication?
Sure. So
again, 4 diamonds and 10 of clubs for the clue.
Okay. So I think let's do the clue first. So 10 of clubs.
Oh, those are good clues.
Oh. I'm gonna go with, you find a holiday card. And like a really nice holiday card, like not one of those stopped at a Shoppers Drug Mart and grabbed like, just something off the rack. This is one of those ones with like the really heavyweight paper and sparkles and like embossing and gold leaf. And it's just, but inside there is a $10,000 check. Made out to the bearer. Or whoever you want. That I just added that last little bit. It is actually just a $10,000 check. So, and the paranormal event. Sorry, that was the 6 of diamonds.
4
of diamonds. There we go. Okay. So as you sort of pick this up and are looking at it, it's as if it hasn't, but it's as if Dr. Fern's Christmas gun has gone off and a Christmas tree just sprouts in the center of the room. And by sprouts, I mean it just fast, fast motion, grows up out of the floor, pushing aside the flimsy boardroom table that's in here, which is actually just 4 or 5 smaller wheeled tables that have been pushed together to form the.
And you guys are under there. You and Diane are under there, Dr. Fern.
Yeah, I think we get pushed too, and you just hear ah!
But it is this, and it's it's the very, very top of it has it has folded over slightly, but it's also tall enough that it's pushed through the drop ceiling. And it is this fully formed 10-foot tall, big bushy pine Christmas tree, fully decorated.
Dr. Fern pokes her head up from under the table and says, "That wasn't me."
No. I know it wasn't you, Dr. Fern. I mean, I don't know what that was. And then Ronnie will pull out from behind their back and start drinking a cup. And in case anybody's, it's one of the local chains is called Brouhaha, and it's got
nice.
But obviously not Brouhaha in this universe, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But anyway, it's German chocolate, so it's got dark mocha, caramel, and coconut.
I like that we all have this, and yet we were still drinking that dog.
Yeah.
I was looking at the nog and going, I can't texturally deal with this. No.
Yeah.
So. And
then the last part of the prompt is that not only is this a fully formed Christmas tree, but it is rooted to the ground.
We're on the second floor.
Yep. So there's a root, roots have sunk into the concrete of the second floor, and it is fully rooted in place. If they want to get it out of here, they're going to have to break concrete or chop it down.
Oh my God. Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
Have we established what's on the first floor below us in this mall?
I think it's
no. Well, I mean, I think it's what it is. It's I think it's the front door of the shared office.
Yeah.
So partly Paranormal Incorporated.
One sign that says Paranormal Inc. The other one says Happy Deer Daycare.
Something like that. And so the front office kind of thing, where there's a reception desk, but then the rest of the stuff, the boardroom and the library and the lab is upstairs and stuff.
Yeah.
So
I'd like to suggest Lil as in LIL, Little Flounder Daycare.
Oh no, that's so cute. Oh God.
Yeah.
Oh, my heart.
Very maritime.
Very, very. All right. Oh wait, hold on. The Monktown part is that for monkfish or is that for an actual monk? Just curious.
Good question. It's spelled
Moncton. Sorry.
Moncton, which doesn't because there is also New Brunswick is the second most populous French speaking population in Canada.
Oh, okay.
So Moncton could be a French place name. Likely is. I haven't looked it up, but
okay. I don't know.
Okay. Well, I mean, we don't have to get into the thing, but I mean, it would be cute to have some sort of tie-in between Little Flounder and Moncton or whatever. So
yeah,
I was thinking of that. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Holy crap! I think we need to leave now.
Yeah. I think Diane and Dr. Fern are just like smushed up against the wall.
I think
with tree
right. I
boughs.
think like both Ronnie and Waylend are like, dragging you two from underneath the table and from behind the tree.
Okay. Sorry, I just quickly looked it up because I
Mhm.
was curious.
Yeah.
This is like the most Canadian
Oh, I'm here for it.
and bureaucratic thing ever.
Oh no.
So the town of Moncton was named after Lieutenant Colonel Robert Moncton, the British military commander who had captured Fort Beausejour a century earlier. A clerical error at the time the town was incorporated resulted in the misspelling of the community's name, which has been perpetuated to the present day. So they
That's perfect.
honored
is-
him
And they
enough
misspelled
to
his
name the
name.
town and then misspelled his name. Like nobody ran spell check on the
That's
Yeah.
outstanding.
I'm so sorry.
That's so perfectly
Okay.
like
Well then, okay, so then
resident.
here's what happens. So like Little Flounder isn't spelled like Little Flounder supposed to be spelled.
It's like FLO.
W.
Yeah.
W
Flow.
flounder.
But it's like we think it's flounder, but it's not, it's flounder.
Little flounder.
Little flounder sounds like a New Zealander saying.
Yeah.
Oh god, I'm gonna die.
I have to believe, again, going back to the fact that it's like the second most populous French region in Canada, I have to believe that it was done on purpose, like a French clerk just was like
just being bitter about it.
Yeah.
bitter about the town being named after a British lieutenant colonel.
Oh my god.
And it was just like, okay, fine, you can have your honor, but I'm taking the K out, you son of
Yeah.
anyway.
That's right. That's right. I love it. Oh my gosh. Okay. I think
like
at
this
this point.
deep Moncton lore is great.
Holy shit. It's amazing. Holy shit.
Paranormal Inc. What a great game.
What a great game. Okay. So knowing this, we are now going to come out of the game, come out of character, and then we are going to theorize because we have essentially 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 clues on a complexity 5. I think we can formulate a
Something.
decent
I
theory.
have a pitch,
Okay.
but we'll need to move all the clues into it. What I think happened is last year at the Christmas party here in this office, someone got Christmas caroled. Someone was Scroogey. They got Christmas caroled, and they didn't end up really turning a new leaf. They kept on being a right butthead. I think it might have been Hans. Is that his name? The one that just came in and everyone...
Warwick. Yeah. The rival.
Yeah, that guy. And I think, Ghost of Christmas Past, Ghost of Christmas Present, Ghost of Christmas Future are, now that he's back in the building, they're causing some chaos to make him regret. And maybe he even was going to send a $10,000 check to a charity and then was like, no, that's a lot of money, I'm not going to do it. Those ghosts were wrong.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, okay, so hold on, let me just like review him because I can't remember what was said. Okay, yeah. So owned successful independent investigation business in the building before selling out to Dormart. And personal vendetta against Paranormal Incorporated, but no one really knows why. What if he was the geeky intern that nobody would listen to? But dude, you're an intern. They're not going to listen to you. You have to figure. Bad Ronnie, right?
And bad Ronnie got Christmas caroled. Did not turn a new leaf.
Nope.
Now has this grudge.
Yep.
Because that badness has really settled into their soul, like fully. Coming back to the building, the ghosts are like, whoa, this guy's back and he's still a jerk. Chaos time.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it's like, but there's like supposedly the containment breach. So you've got the one spirit who smashed some canapes into their face, I guess, like, Christmas present, I suppose. And then there was another one that asked about myrrh, and then the kid. So
the kid might be Christmas past.
Okay.
Maybe.
And The myrrh is, so I think the combination
Same guy
of,
as the one who smashed canapes in their face. I mean,
Christmas, well, myrrh, the one for Christmas, for myrrh might be Christmas future,
okay,
because myrrh is associated with death. It's a,
Yeah.
okay, got it.
it's a,
Funeral type thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, all
Also,
right.
the 10 of swords being missing is sort of interesting because the 10 of swords involves like a loss, and
Oh,
so not just loss, but like
Yeah.
inevitable loss.
mhm.
I was looking
So
up what it says. Upright, according to this website, which
Yeah.
is biddyterra.com, says painful endings, deep wounds, betrayal, loss, and crisis. And reversed is recovery, regeneration, and resisting an inevitable end, which is resisting an inevitable end is the Christmas Carol, right?
Yeah,
yeah.
that's beautiful.
Oh, so
Oh,
what
wait, and
what
wait,
if he
for the
he sorry, go ahead.
just want to mention this about the $10,000 check. What if this was never cashed because they tried to hide it, so this way the business wouldn't, get
Mm,
supported.
Yeah,
Maybe this was a
right.
client and they decided never to cash the check,
maybe.
never
Yeah.
to deposit it.
Nice.
So, but yeah, I mean, oh, and the photo former employees. I mean, this was from last year's Christmas party, but if you
Someone's
want, we can
10th birthday.
recontextualize it. We could be an older one, and you see Warwick is being that jerky intern, but maybe
Yeah.
the hair's different. He's definitely not wearing a high power suit.
No.
He's just like got the long hair or the the whatever, and just
Maybe when we look at the picture closely,
mm-hmm.
the weird way that he stands out too is not just we can tell that he's bad Ronnie,
Mm-hmm.
but if you look really, really closely, you can see the shadowy figures of Christmas past and Christmas present and Christmas future.
Oh,
Standing
nice.
around
I
him.
love
Love it.
it. Love it.
Yeah, I think beyond just him deciding not to reform at the end, I think the little bit of like the cherry on top of it all is that the reason we're having a containment breach this year is that
Mhm.
he tricked the three apparitions. He is like, oh yeah, no, I'm totally gonna turn over a new leaf,
Yeah,
and just
I'm even writing out a $10,000 check right now.
yeah, look at me right now. Just just follow me down to the lab for a moment, and ends up capturing them and sticking them in the containment unit, and is like, yeah, see you later, suckers, and figures that problem is solved until we show up, and
They got out somehow, though.
they got out
The
somehow.
crows.
The
Okay.
ravens.
Yeah,
Okay.
they broke in somehow because Diane keeps leaving the window open because she keeps smoking in there.
Mm.
They got in and they just sort of, shiny things. They were picking out little bits of, we said there were transistors and stuff,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Spellbook and sudden power outage.
Well, he's an intern. He didn't know how to operate the machine, so he was going to use a spell to help keep them contained.
That's the missing page.
Okay.
Is the
Reinforcing.
is
But he
the
didn't do a
spell?
good job.
Yeah.
But somehow okay, so yeah, so bad Ronnie, so he oh wait, okay, so like there's a couple of kinds of interns. Yeah, there's the interns that really try to work towards something, and then they get the internship to get experience and all this kind of stuff. Ronnie is of the internship where it's like it's kind of pretend because they actually do run the office and they do fund the office from their means. What if Warwick was one of those stupid ones, like in disguise, like what is that show like where the bosses pretend to be an employee and then tries to go in and like find out like how the workers are doing or whatever. I forget what it was.
Yeah, I know exactly
undercover
boss. Yeah.
Okay, undercover boss, right? And then so they kind of try to undercover boss it, even though they're like kind of touted as the intern, and just like no, I'm not gonna deal with this. I'm just gonna like sell out to Dormart or whatever, to make it easy on myself because I don't want to work. I don't want to be Ron. That's why he was so sarcastic to Ronnie, because it's like, he knows like what Ronnie's doing, but doesn't want to.
Oh, I hate this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad those ghosts got after him.
Oh,
Personal vendetta against Paranormal Incorporated, but no one knows why.
That's specifically what the ghosts were trying to get him to do. Instead of selling it out to Dormart, the ghosts were like, no, you can make this business better and make all of these people thrive. And
Which you should.
yeah,
But he's not, because he's
he's like
cheapskate, like,
Yeah.
lazy ass.
yeah, and he's like, nah.
Nah, exactly.
So last Christmas, he got, with all of this, stuff that was happening and him being a real jerk like that, he got Christmas caroled. These ghosts tried to make him change his ways to support Paranormal Inc. and be, a half decent boss. And he tricked them into thinking that he did reform. He even filled out a blank check to a charity that he never mailed, clearly.
Clearly.
Yeah.
No intention of mailing that.
It's okay.
No.
We can take care of that for him.
And he tricked the ghosts. He brought them to the lab. He contained them. He put a little spell on the containment unit because he didn't really want to have to work the unit because he's lazy. But of course, because he's lazy, he did not do a good job with putting the spell on.
Yeah. He tries to get by with a lot of shortcuts, which we know doesn't work.
Yeah.
You do have to put in the work for it. And so let's see with a +2 how right we are. Who wants to roll?
I'll do it. I'm feeling lucky.
Okay, go for it.
Punk. And that is an 11.
Woohoo! Okay, so on an 11. How good is this? I think we're great. I mean, like, it's gonna be great. No. Super great. Oh God. Theorize. Okay. Oh, 10 or above. It's the correct solution. As a group, narrate how solving the mystery achieves the overall goal. Yep. So there's no work to this. I mean, like, we can totally narrate this, and then now we can get on to the important stuff, which is the role play of, like, like epiloguing this holiday season. So yeah, okay. So as a group, narrate something, how solving the mystery achieves the overall goal. We needed to find out, to go over the establishing question, we needed to find out, identify and capture the 3 remaining ghosts in the building, and uncover the cause of the containment breach, which we did. I mean, like, we could conceivably have that, like, that reveal, because things are still going on downstairs. Like, they're having the remnants of the Christmas party because, well, they're getting drunk or getting high on nog TM.
I'm not really sure what that nog does to a person and how we can describe that.
We can't describe it. So yeah,
the only redeeming feature of that nog is that it has a lot of rum in it.
Okay,
that is
it's got to be.
It's a rum delivery vehicle. That's all
it is. A rum delivery vehicle.
I think Diane did that.
Yes.
Because secretly, she's not a curmudgeon.
No.
She likes these people and she wants them to have a nice Christmas.
Yeah.
Oh no.
So,
I'm just imagining, like, again, cost-saving measure. They added, like, alcohol-free rum flavored thing to it so it would taste like alcohol thing. And
God.
Diane was like,
no, we're not doing
and
this.
Just upends a big arse bottle of, like, some local distillers spiced rum into the
Well, that's how we find them, right? Like, for people that are there, they're kind of like either slumped or they're kind of like talking really fast. It depends on what kind of drunk they are. And so, like, Ronnie will just turn to Diane and go, I thought that the nog was supposed to be non-alcoholic. And she just gives, like, this, like, she's got the cigarette in one hand and she's got it, like, got her arms in front of her and, like, yeah, well, maybe plans change. It is the holidays after all. Okay.
I think that once Warwick is dealt with, the ghosts, they're just going to move on. They were here for a specific reason.
Yeah.
So I think what we need to figure out is, how do we deal with him? I want to shoot my gun at him.
I want you to shoot your gun at him.
I want you to shoot your gun at him. Let me see. Oh wait, let's check the locations to see what we hadn't looked at, and then see if there's
I
something
like that.
sufficiently large enough that you can do that without feeling like you're going to be accused of assault and battery.
The employee lounge.
Okay.
It's
Yeah.
the coziest space at Paranormal Inc. regional
Got it.
office. Comfortably cluttered with mismatched furniture, a TV, and piles of random personal items that employees leave around. We find him in there because he is digging out some of the stuff that he left to bring back when he leaves.
Yeah.
I think we confront him, and yeah, I think we just, well,
Freeze!
what pops out of this gun?
Oh, we're talking a Christmas tree. We're talking the menorah is there. There's a Santa, like a big animatronic Santa somehow that comes out of this gun. There is just so many presents and gifts with lots of different kinds of wrapping and ribbon. Tinsel, just so much tinsel. We've got like Christmas crackers. And they crack as they come out of the gun, and like crowns go flying everywhere, and candy.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
festive.
Very festive. Yeah. And I think, like, the tinsel starts getting tangled up in itself, and it starts looking like a Spider-Man web kind of thing as it like pastes him against the wall. And then, like, the other stuff is like pinning him against the wall as well. And then he's getting all indignant and stuff like that. And Ronnie will walk up to him, show him the holiday card, and say, "Oh, well, look at here." Opens it up and then shows him the check. "I think this will be wonderful, going towards the business expenses and keeping this office open, maybe making a few improvements. All thanks to you. I mean, I can let your colleagues know at Dormart that the sale doesn't have to go through. How about that?" And I think Diane's been kind of trailing us. It's like, watching us work. And I think she's like, the curmudgeon-y look on her face starts to go away. And it's like, it starts to get that Grinch smile, like at the end when, like, it's like curls, like, and
Yeah.
just like you hear a voiceover kind of like that, where the heart becomes 3 sizes so big or whatever it
Yeah.
is.
I think as we stand there too, and I think Waylend, you'll get a good chance to have like some kind of Christmas Carol themed, maybe, I don't know, one-liner. But I think the ghosts of Christmas past and present and future sort of rise up behind us, looming over us, staring down at Warwick.
Nice. Ghosts bless us, everyone.
That's beautiful.
Yes.
And I think, like, we see like the panning of, like, the ornaments and the tinsel from the tree of the holiday gun and the snowman and the Santa suit, and just kind of like you start hearing the carols that kind of like ring off, or like the beautiful Christmas songs that just like like just showing some cheer. And let's do some epilogues about, like, how we're spending our holiday.
Could
I
we do
would
a
like to
gift
resolve some of
exchange?
that. I would like to resolve some of that stuff we were talking about in the beginning with the establishing questions.
Um, I would like to say that the music that is playing is the similar to but legally distinct from the Charlie Brown, like the Henry Mancini orchestra Charlie Brown music. But
Like everybody's
Yeah.
like doing that.
yeah.
Yes.
Anyway.
Go ahead. Keep going. Include Marvin in the scene somehow.
Yeah. So I think Waylend's room is not as decorated as he normally does for the holiday season. But in the, I guess, mind palace that he and Marvin share, it is ridiculously, like it's all those pictures you see of like, oh, we've decorated our salon for the holidays, and it's just like holly boughs and pine boughs and an enormous tree in the corner, and it's all of that like very hearty, solid Christmas decoration, right? It's none of it is the very light reserved. It's all very much, and it's the library, and it's got like a big fire roaring in the fireplace, and it's just Marvin and Waylend sitting in like two of those like big oversized chairs in front of the fire. Even internally, Waylend is still wearing an ugly Christmas sweater. And I think this one is a slightly appropriate to the season. I think this one is an ugly C.S. Lewis Christmas sweater. So it's got like all the characters from the Narnia books all over it. So there's a knitted Mr. Tumnus, and anyway, but and they just sort of like, they're both just reading quietly. And then Waylend says, I do actually enjoy having you around. It's, yeah, I don't know. I doubt myself sometimes, and that sometimes makes me doubt other people as well. So I'm sorry. I got you this. And he reaches down like beside the overstuffed chair and hands Marvin like a present, a beautifully wrapped like gift. Much better than like Waylend could have managed in real life, and hands it over. And it is some research that is not sure how Marvin's not terribly sure right now how Waylend has managed to keep this from him, because they do sort of occupy the same mental space. But somehow Waylend has managed to like do some research and keep it from Marvin. And it's research into containment units, but like containment units for spirits that can then be potentially autonomized. So sort of, you think of the containment unit as like a battery for like an android body or something like that. So a spirit could be inside the containment unit and then be inserted into an android body and be able to control that android body as if it were their own. So it would be, obviously this is something he would have to go to Dr. Fern and get Dr. Fern's help to build. But this is a way for Marvin to potentially have like their autonomy again, and not only be able to like be trapped inside of Waylend and not be able to see, like, only be able to see the world through Waylend's eyes. So yeah, that's
I love that.
So sweet.
I think we see Dr. Fern in her lab. There's a Christmas themed mug very precariously perched on a corner. It's probably going to fall off. In it is not even like poured into it, just the cup has been placed inside of the mug, one of the Timmy stars that Ronnie has given Dr. Fern. And Dr. Fern is playing with a little chemistry experiment, mixing some chemicals. It's actually very nice. Like it's the beakers and the tubes and all that stuff, and it's reds and greens and silvers, and one of them kind of looks like tinsel being swished around in like maybe a carbonated kind of thing. Suddenly there's a little flash in the chemistry set, and you can tell, that there's going to be a fire. It starts to light up. We cut to Dr. Fern's face, and a flash, and suddenly Dr. Fern's face is Dr. Fern as a 4-year-old with her chemistry set blowing up, about to blow up her house. Flashback to Dr. Fern. Not again. And the fire starts, and we see it start to explode out. And then suddenly, it's all white, like it's snowing inside the lab. We see fire extinguishers lined up in every corner, spraying down towards the lab table, putting out the explosion. And Dr. Fern, standing there, wipes the material off of her glasses and yells out, "Ronnie, what a wonderful present. I love it. Thank you so much."
Oh,
If this is just audio, I was just dying and scream laughing on mute. Oh, and that is exactly what would happen. And Ronnie is out in the foyer at their desk and just kind of calls out, "Happy holidays, Dr. Fern." And I think Ronnie will slowly put away the laptop and move some of the decorations that are around, just making room for different things. And there's a small little tree like in the corner of the foyer, because of course, like, you're going to greet visitors and such. And Ronnie just looks around at the office, at the gleaming wood and the space that's, that they've been able to cultivate here, thinking about the the regional office, and writing out a check for the office and directing it over to Diane and saying, "Happy holidays. May your office have a better new year than it's seen in a while. This is towards your office's operations as the new office manager of Paranormal Incorporated." And it's not signed. Like the letter is not signed by anyone. It's just from a corporate office of Paranormal Incorporated. And then underneath the tree, Ronnie will put down some small gifts. One with a label for Dr. Fern, one for Waylend, one for Annabelle. And they also start writing out some addresses to the London office of Paranormal Incorporated, to their cousin Reggie, and to the investigators there. And Mike will come behind and prod Ronnie, and then kind of like indicate, "Hey, common room." And so you'll see Ronnie look around again with a big smile on their face, go into the common room, shutting the double doors with a final smile. And then from inside the common room, you hear the sound of the big speaker coming out, and it's Jingle Bell Rock coming on board, and then Ronnie just wailing away on Jingle Bell Rock to close out our session.
love it. If I may, I just want to add in, there's a little moment where the camera pans over and we see Mikey the microphone, dancing to Jingle Bell Rock with the one-legged lamp.
Oh my God, that's so cute. So cute. Oh.
And then
If we had a credit crawl, basically, like, you'd
Yeah.
hear the songs like melding in a mash as credits roll. Yeah. So, and thus endeth our holiday episode of Paranormal Incorporated, Stars
Oh,
and
boy.
Wishes. We know the drill. Whoever wants to start.
Stars for all the really, really great character moments this session in
Yeah.
particular, where just a lot of fun jokes and such, because we tend to be a little more humorous with this game. But I think there was a lot of really, really good moments, between Waylend and Marvin, and between Ronnie and Diane. And I think there was a lot of really cool things to bring forward. My wish is I want to see what Diane does with her new place,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think stars. I think stars to you, Mads, for like all of the development around Ronnie and sort of the lore of Paranormal Inc. Has been a lot of fun, especially with this episode. And I love it, and I want to see more of it. And wishes, actually, yeah, I'm gonna second Amanda. I want to see like more Moncton field office stuff or regional office stuff. Like I want to almost to the point where I think it would be fun to do like a second set of characters. I don't know if we leave Dr. Blurn as an NPC or if somebody takes on the role of Dr. Blurn, but I would love to see like a second set of characters. So occasionally we play as the main Paranormal Inc. But for some adventures, we end up taking on like we do it out of the Moncton regional office. And
I do so love that idea. Well, I mean, it was kind of like what I was verging towards anyway when I was creating the London office, because I mean, we had done one episode, and of course, like I'm catching up on a lot of material. I get it. Where it was like trying to test out some of the homebrew playbooks that Kavya and Ironar had made, and introducing Reggie as the office person, the intern for that. Actually, no, not intern. Like Reggie would never be an intern. Like Reggie's too concerned about their Instagram and their and her other social media to do that. But anyway, yeah, I mean, like to introduce those characters and those playbooks, which we may or may not have even actually really utilized. But I mean, just the idea of being able to play different characters and just being able to introduce other material that's possible within the Paranormal Incorporated universe. Because also, we did for that one, we did Phantom of the Opera, but of course it was held in London, so different, so same guy though, but again, you just like kind of muck around with this, right? And I know, I love that idea. I to just kind of take a break from these guys and then see what happens in the Moncton office.
As a small addition to the Moncton regional office lore, I think it would be, as a cost saving measure, I think it was the main regional office, and then they moved it to Canada to cut costs because rent was generally cheaper. Of course, you can keep everybody at the same salary number, and you just pay them in Canadian funds, and there's a huge saving right there. So what, you're still getting like $30,000 a year. You're just getting like, it has 30% less buying power. That's all.
So nasty. God.
Anyway, but yeah, I loved I love that idea of the Moncton regional office. And
just more lore for 2023.
Yep.
I enjoyed this game so much. I mean, especially with playing with you guys. I mean, it's always so enjoyable, and it's roll with everything. And it's wonderful that it's a GMless game, because then we just like all play off of each other, and we're getting better we're getting better at doing the
Mhm.
switching in the scenes. Like, okay, you're taking locations this time, you're taking clues this time, and then still weaving in and out of the story with the paranormal events and the NPCs. So it
Mhm.
is still very possible to hang back, just play, or to come kind of a little forward and maybe like, contribute to the direction of where things go. And that's why this is such a versatile game, and I love it. And I love the fact that we have taken this to a Scooby-Doo without the dog type of fun level,
Mhm.
and it's just been
Well, we have
amazing.
Mike.
We have
Kinda
well,
like a dog.
yeah, like,
Eh,
but Mike's at the office though. He's not field work, I mean, it's a little bit different,
yeah.
So, but
I
yeah,
think I said in like one of our discussions that I like we've sort of reached a Doom Patrol sort of feel to it, where there is like things are still very serious. There is the potential for people to get like hurt,
Mhm.
maybe even die.
Right,
But overall, there is still like a humor through everything.
yeah,
Where we see that like there is some serious stuff going on. People, like the characters, have stuff they're dealing with, but at the same time there's a wonderful humor that like comes through all the time. And I mean, just on a personal, I love coming up with new book puns and stuff like that. For Waylend is going to have like an endless supply of t-shirts with like either from book conventions or that have like weird sayings on them and puns and things like that. I've got a whole Google Doc that I've dedicated to that. So
that is beautiful. I mean, it's like it would be great to, what I noticed, and like, you can tell me if I'm wrong, but I feel like I didn't use any moves. I mean, the only thing that we did was like pretty much basic moves the whole time. It was like ghostly
yeah,
encounters, theorize, risky, and discovery. I mean, like, I don't think I used any of my individual moves whatsoever at all. So, and it was still wonderful. I mean, like, playing off of each other, again, more
mhm,
character development. I am never going to object to that. I don't care how long it takes. And it helped. Not that we wouldn't want, like, Annabelle like in the mix, but I mean, it also helped that this was a lower complexity, that it wasn't like 6 to 8, because then we had more time to breathe as characters, and we had more options for, okay, we're going to investigate, we're going to gather all these clues. We don't have to use them all, but we did, and it was great. It was
yeah.
fun. So,
Oh, and that's, sorry, I guess another star for Dr. Blurn. Just creating an NPC that was so we could all picture Dr.
Yeah.
Blurn.
yeah,
And we all
totally.
could get a sense of Dr. Blurn, even though Dr. Blurn was not in
Yeah,
the episode at all.
yeah. No, I mean, and he
Now we have
can
that to look
come
forward
in.
to. Yeah.
Now
Yeah.
we have that to look forward to. It's
Oh,
like,
yay.
yay. Well, okay. So wait, I mean, because we have the other guy, I forget his name, floating around in nether space, possibly.
Oh, a
The bro,
broha guy.
the Broha guy, right? So we got him.
Travis?
I
Something like
don't
that?
remember.
I don't
I'd have to
either.
go back
Oh,
and
no.
look. I'm just like, shit. Oh man, I gotta catch up on all the content, so this way we, like, people understand what the fudge we're talking about. But yeah, I mean, like, it's been great. Again, it's just like such a collaborative thing, and I love this stuff. Thank you so much for making Paranormal Incorporated 2022 become a very zany, fun reality. I mean, it has been great. And just, again, just some of these through lines, like Timmy Stars, and like we will go back to Late Night Kate's. We will hit Betty's Diner at some point, like in the future. And besides, also remember, Timmy Stars is ubiquitous in my universe, as well as the possibility of seeing a Late Night Kate's in Moncton, I'm sure, near a Paranormal Incorporated office. Absolutely. So we can totally visit these places elsewhere. So, so much fun, so much fun. Yay.
Thanks again for having us, Mads.
Oh
Yes.
Always
my
so
gosh,
great.
thank
Thank
you
you.
for joining me in this game. Oh my god, it's like it's been wonderful, and like we will continue to have fun. But what is our bane? What is the bane of our existence?
Uh,
Scheduling. Scheduling.
Yeah.
always.
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 So, you
So
know,
good luck to us in future scheduling endeavors.
exactly. It's like, oh God, don't get sick. Okay, you can make it. You can make it. Okay. All right, we got this. Ah, well, here's to welcoming in well, happy holidays for one. And here's to welcoming 2023 in a couple weeks. And I hope you guys have a wonderful new year. All
You
right.
too.
You
Thank
too.
See you
you.
then. Absolutely.
Well, I mean, I'm sure earlier than that, but yeah.
Definitely earlier than that. But
Definitely
still.
earlier than that.
So many games.
Signing off for now. Bye.
Bye.